Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to solve one-step equations and two-step equations. So here I got problem number 1. If we have x plus 12 equals to 10, the first step is to get rid of this constant 12. But we do see a positive sign here, so we have to do the opposite. So we have to undo the addition. So there are 4 simple rules. To undo addition, we use subtraction. To undo subtraction, we do addition. To undo multiplication, we divide. To undo division, we multiply. So these are the 4 simple rules for solving one-step and two-step equations. So now let us try to use these rules to undo addition here. So since the problem is x plus 12 equals to 10, so I'm going to undo addition by subtracting 12 on both the sides. So now 12 and negative 12 gets cancelled. So I get x equals to negative 2. So by the way, these numbers are called constants. So whenever we are solving one-step and two-step equations, we have to get rid of the constants or move them to the right-hand side. So that is what we will be doing in one-step equations and two-step equations. So let's say that is problem number 1. And let me pick a problem number 2, where I have negative 7y is equal to negative 91. So here it is a multiplication problem, negative 7 times y. But I do know that there is a possibility of confusion because you see a negative sign in front of 7. Sometimes we may think that we have to add 7, but that is not true because it is negative 7 times y. So to undo the negative 7, which is a multiplication, we have to divide by negative 7 on both the sides. So we get y is equal to 13 because negative by negative is positive and 91 divided by 7 is 13. So you get y equals to 13. And let me show you another problem wherein we have a division sign. X over 9 equals to, say, negative 4. Here I have to undo the division. So I am going to multiply by the reciprocal of 1 over 9. Though it is just x, but there is a 1 in there. So it is 1 over 9. The reciprocal of 1 over 9 is 9. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 9. So you get x equals to negative 36. So I hope this is very clear. So again, I reiterate the 4 rules. We have to undo all the operations. If there is addition or subtraction, or multiplication or division, we have to undo those operations and then get rid of the constant. So that's how we deal with one-step equations. Now, in one-step equations, let me pick another problem with the fractions and show you. So let's say if I have 2/3 of x equals to 10. Now here it's a fraction, so 2/3 is a fraction. So here, to get rid of a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. So reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 over 2. So you multiply by 3 over 2 on both the sides. Again, we are undoing the multiplication by multiplying by the reciprocal. I can also do this by dividing by 2/3, but it is easier to multiply by the reciprocal when there is a fraction. So now I've got x is equal to 15 because 10 times 3 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So this is another problem where we have fractions in one-step equations. Now let's go to two-step equations, and I'll pick some examples to show you. So here, if we have, let's say, 6x plus 8 equals to 50. Now the operations that I was talking about in one-step equations will remain the same. So we have to undo the addition and subtraction, and we have to remove the constant term. Again, we have to undo the multiplication and division to remove the coefficient. So there are two steps that we are going to deal here, unlike in one-step equations. So step number 1, I am going to remove the constant first. So this is 8 is the constant here, 6 is called the coefficient, because a number that comes with a variable is called a coefficient. A number by itself is a constant. So first step is to eliminate the constant. So I am undoing the addition sign by subtracting 8 on both the sides. So then I would get 6x equals to 50 minus 8 is 42. Now second step is to get rid of this coefficient 6. Again, I have to undo multiplication. So I'm going to divide by 6 on both the sides. So I can get x equals to 7. So that's how we do two-step equations. I'll go over one more time here. So here first I subtracted 8. So I tried to get rid of the constant. And in second step, I got rid of the coefficient, which is 6. So let me pick another example here. Let's pick 13 equals to negative 4x plus 9. So here, first step is, though the x and the constant term is written on the right hand side, but the operations will remain the same. So subtract 9 first, that is eliminating the constant. So negative 4x equals to 13 minus 9 is 4. Again, you divide, because again I'm undoing the multiplication by dividing by negative 4. So I can get x is equal to negative 1. So let me pick one more example here with fractions in it. Is the x over 2 minus 7 equals to 9. Again here, first step is to get rid of the constant, which is negative 7. So I'm going to add 7 on both the sides, and then I would get x over 2 equals 16. So here again I have x over 2. So therefore, to get rid of the division, I have to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2, or I'm multiplying by 2. So I could get x is equal to 32. So you can see here it is x divided by 2. So I have to undo the division by multiplying by 2 on both the sides to get a 32. So let's do one more problem, maybe a little more complicated one. Negative 10 plus 7 over 4 times, let's say, p is equal to negative 38. Again, now this is the constant, this is the coefficient. So first let us try to get rid of the constant by adding 10 on both the sides. So we get 7 over 4p is equal to negative 28. So negative 38 plus 10 is negative 28. Now we see that there is a fraction here, 7 over 4. Now the best way to get rid of a fraction is to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 4 over 7 on both the sides. So therefore this gets cancelled out. So p is equal to negative 16. That's because 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. And last, I would like to show you one more type of a problem that we encounter in solving two-step equations. Something like x plus 11 divided by 8 is equal to negative 3. I was telling you first, when we deal with the two-step equations, first we add or subtract, then multiply or divide. But if there is a problem like this, here we cannot do that. I cannot add or subtract and multiply and divide. So these are some of the typical questions wherein we got to watch out these kind of problems. So here first I'm going to multiply by 8 to get rid of the division. So here I get x plus 11 is equal to negative 24, and then I subtract 11 on both the sides, so I can get x equals to negative 35. So here, whenever one term is totally divided by the other term, we have to multiply first and then add or subtract accordingly. So let us do one more, and then we will stop there. A minus 13 over negative 6 is equal to 1. Again, like I said, we will first multiply by negative 6 on both the sides, and then we get a minus 13 is equal to 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. And then we add 13 on both the sides. So therefore, we get 13 minus 6 is 7. So this is how we solve one-step and two-step equations.